Articulating exactly why Non Biyori is a great show was not an easy thing to do. In fact, this is about my third draft of this fucking script. See, while some might think you can sum this show up with a simpler statement as cute girls doing cute things like half a dozen other anime, I think the people that see it that way are kind of wrong. Now let's get something clear first. The fluffy aspects of Non Biyori are a big part of the character of the show, but to leave it there seems awfully empty for something I legitimately consider one of my favourites. When I gave it some real thought, I realised the answer as to why the show shines above many others is almost ridiculously simple. It understands and portrays childhood impeccably. Non Biyori provides us with 4 amazingly fun characters of various ages and shows us a year through their childhood life. That's what the show intended to be, and that's exactly what it is. The show lacks any sort of story because it entirely focuses around the countryside and the blooming buds it contains. In fact, the show has only 5 students attending its school, which is very unrealistic, but it does emphasize this. While it lacks a story, it certainly doesn't lack development, as what effectively is happening is our characters are growing up, albeit at a very nice and slow pace. Even within the space of just 1 year, the show portrays milestone events in pretty much everyone's childhood. Like, I'd say a good 50% of you watching this have had the experience of running away as a kid before realizing you're just a little shit. The show actually does get touching at parts because of this without spoiling anything, yet to the very end, Non Biyori is an overwhelmingly light-hearted and relaxing experience, which is why I love it. As such, what we have here is one of the best 13-episode slice of life experiences available to anime fans, with some of the most lovable characters you can find anywhere, especially Natsumi, my personal favourite. There's something about watching Renge and everyone really that just puts you in a great mood. The thing about the characters of Non Biyori is that they all just work so well together and in any combination. Put Hotaru and Renge in a rabbit cage and you can bet you're in for a hell of a time. That says something about just how good the personalities of these girls are when you can be entertained by nothing. Having a show with 1 or even a few good characters is pretty standard stuff, but when somehow an entire cast of vibrant and diverse individuals are brought together, that's when you know you've got something special. The anime gods are not normally this generous. In terms of its presentation, I don't think Non Biyori is the most amazingly animated anime out there, but that's not to say it doesn't look nice. The show spans an entire year, and as such, it throws out art depicting all 4 seasons, which meant, much like the actual show, the visuals never got boring. When it wants to, the show can really stun you, and being set in the countryside means this happens more than you might think. The character designs are relatively simple, but in my mind it fits the show perfectly, and of course, they're cute, so what more can you ask for, really? Non Biyori's opening by NaNoWriMe is, in my opinion, not the most fitting for the tone of the show. I think their music is more suited for drama-orientated anime, but I still listen to it now and then, even if it felt out of place at the time. Now, when you turn to the background music and ending, flawless is actually a great way to describe it. The soundtrack blends so well into what's going on screen that it takes the show from being relaxing to don't watch it when you want to do work because you'll be completely absorbed. The fact that the ending sounds as good as it does when it's sung by the seiyus of the show really highlights just how talented they are. Shout out to Natsumi again for being best girl. Non Biyori is a show that I love to no end, for it is one of the funniest, fun, and all-round great to experience anime I've ever seen, so believe me, if you can appreciate the smaller things and haven't seen it yet, do something about that. You don't have to be edgy to be entertaining, this show proves that. If you're looking for a similar recommendation, Hanasaka Iroha, which I happen to review, is a great choice, just with a more drama-driven center. Flipping that around, Minami K is also a solid show, leaning more towards the comedy side as opposed to the center, where Non Biyori is. Now that's it from me, I've been Russ, and I'm gonna go swing on a rope, or something. Have a great night or day.